What it do, what it do. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. That's a notification bell that alert you all content that I will drop that will hit you will hit my YouTube, will also hit your device. So it's very important if you want all the latest up to date current content that I drop immediately as soon as I'm done and I drop it on YouTube, hit that notification bell. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the AKA the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate that. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I need everybody to go double back and spin the block. Go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment on it. All helps both of my channels grow, get more viewers, more subscribers, pushes both of my YouTube channels further to the YouTube algorithm to get noticed. So it's very important and it's free. Just make sure you hit the like, subscribe, share, comment. That's all you got to do. All helps my channel grow. Also, you like the content that I do, you like the work that I put in, make sure you hit the Cash App. $ SRED 40. Appreciate all my subscribers and future subscribers that who donates to the channel. Continue to donate. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. We in the building. We here. What? Yo, Cologne, what's good? You know my fruit cake. I ain't my LOL. Strawberry the cup. You know what it is. You know what it is. Most definitely strawberry the cup. You see the title? You see the title. In Bryce Young, we trust. Fire Dave Canales. Yeah, he got to go. Oh, Dave Canales got to go. And I tell y'all, didn't I say this was going to be the game where now people are going to start to see and question Dave Canales about his coaching ability. And I told you. I told y'all. That's exactly what was going to happen. If they would have lost this game to Seattle and the way they lost it, they lay down. They took the tail in. This game was already lost before kickoff. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but this game was lost before kickoff. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. They listen to the media. They listen to the fans. Let's just beat Tampa Bay. We know we're gonna lose. We know we're gonna lose to Seattle. Every day, nobody had the Carolina Panthers beating Seattle. Nobody. And what did the Carolina Panthers do? Carolina Panthers played right into it. Played it right into the cars, bro. Played it like right into it. Like that's crazy. How you gonna beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then lose to the Seattle Seahawks, and then walk around with your chest poked out like you already got Tampa Bay beat? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all they're talking about. They're talking about playoffs already. Oh yeah. The Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, and the media already penciled in the Carolina Panthers to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Keep listening. Keep listening to Sports Talk Radio on the Carolina Panthers and listen to Dan Canales. They're very confident that they can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But why were you confident enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks and not even have to worry about Tampa Bay? Not even have to worry about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tell me about that. What's good, Tony? What's good? What's good? What's good? Anybody want to pull up? The link is in the chat. Pull up. Hit the link. Tell me why. I need to know. I want to know. If you're so confident, in beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, why were you confident enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks? If you would have put any effort into it, if you'd have had a head coach that actually can call a game, can scheme up plays, can make adjustments, maybe the Carolina Panthers would have beat Seattle. But when you got a head coach that can't make adjustments, has the lack of creativity, the lack ability to make adjustments, the wherewithal to stop the bleeding, he took a knee. When have you known a coach to take a knee with 2 minutes, 3 minutes left of the game? They laid down. They gave up. For that, Dave Canales should be fired. He should be fired. Nobody respects this team, and nobody respects Dave Canales. And I told y'all, and I'm going to tell you again, when he did not play Bryce Young in the preseason last year and lied to everybody and say Bryce knew the playbook and Bryce was ready to go, had Bryce thinking that preseason was vanilla. He didn't need it. Now look at him. Look at him. Oh, yeah, Dave Canales is on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. Steaming seat. The seat is steaming hot. He's on the hot seat. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you this. Don't let them motherfucking 8 wins fool you. Don't let them 8 wins fool you. Because see how Dave Canales is going to get fired? He's going to lose the locker room. He's going to lose the locker room. And it may be Bryce Young. Because Bryce got a decision to make. He knows either him or Dave. And Bryce knows if he wants to be the starting quarterback of an NFL team, he's going to have to get rid of Dave Canales. Because Bryce knows once he leaves Charlotte, the Carolina Panthers, he'll be the automatic starter. It's over with. It's over. Over. Done. Stick a fork at it. Cancel Christmas. It's over. Watch Bryce Young and his team agent put on a full court press to get Dave Canales up out of here. Listen, we'd have had 2 years of this. We don't need a 3. We don't need a 4. We don't need to go 3 or 4 years for these two knuckleheads to try to figure it out. It's over with. Either Dave Canales is trying to sabotage the team, or he is deeply against Bryce Young. I'm being facts. I don't expect the Carolina Panthers to beat Tampa Bay in Tampa. I have Tampa Bay beating the Carolina Panthers. So I'm going to tell you why. Tampa Bay has been there and done that. The experience will overwhelm Dave Canales. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Tybo won't make the same mistakes like he did a couple weeks ago, defensive wise. He will not. All that blitzing that he was doing, all this and that, he's not going to do that. Watch Tybo play a lot more man to man. Watch. Watch him. Watch him. He's seen what Seattle did. You don't think he ain't showed his team that tape? Oh, yeah. I don't believe in Dave Canales. See, Dave Canales think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to lay down. They got a rude awakening coming Saturday. We will be going live Saturday. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you get your money, get your cash out ready. Make sure you share the live. We're going in Saturday for the, as we call it, playoffs already. Winner takes all. Yeah. Hell, they're whining and crying, boo-hooing because the Carolina Panthers didn't beat Seattle. And then now this week you got your chest poked out. Oh, we're going to beat the Bucs. We're going to beat the Bucs. Even if you do beat the Bucs, you're getting knocked the fuck out in the first round because you can't score no points. So who cares? I told y'all, I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell you again. Because I don't know. I don't know if it's raining through. I don't know if it's getting through your skull, through your brain. I don't know. But listen. Dave Canales is the worst head coach in the NFL right now. Well, how you say that, S.L.R? And he got more wins than he had last year. He's the worst head coach in the league. And I'm going to tell you why. All you have to do is watch all the Carolina Panthers games this season. The ones they win and the ones they lost. And you'll still see in the wins that Dave Canales is still one of the worst head coaches in the league. For sure. No, we just keep Dave. We'll just keep Dave, and we'll just go get us a offensive coordinator. You got an offensive coordinator. His name is Brad Isaac. Like, stop playing. Like, where we going with this? Like, where we going with this? We here. What's good? What's good? Cologne, what's good? Share the live, everybody. Let everybody know we live. We in the building. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cologne. He's listen. He's good as gone, Cologne. I'm telling you, people. Look, yeah, they see. They think that Dave Canales is secure. They think them 8 wins is gonna. No, it's not. I am telling you. His ass is gone. On the simple fact is, the gig is up. You're not as good as people think you are. You're not as good as you think you are. You're the worst of the worst. Let Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers have another bad game like they had against the Seattle Seahawks. And it's a shame. And listen, before I get into the content, y'all do know that Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers had this Seattle game already circled with a loss. Knowing it's the final home game, you win, you're in. This is the perfect send-off, the perfect opportunity for your final home game to tell the fans, be ready next week for the home playoff game. And what did you do? You went in this game and didn't give a fuck at all. Went in this game, did not care, did not want to win, did not want to win in front of your fans. All because of the simple fact that you already had your minds made up and penciled in for the Tampa Bay game. Y'all just wanted to beat Tampa Bay, get that game. Once y'all got that game, y'all didn't give a damn. Y'all didn't give a damn about Seattle. Y'all weren't even prepared for Seattle. Y'all probably didn't even do no fucking practice or watch film. Got stomped. Took a knee. Who the fuck takes a knee when you lose it? I thought the victors take knees. Unbelievable. 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 I have no respect. I had no respect for Dave Canales. I had no respect at all for his team. None. I love my Carolina Panthers. I did not like this regime. I don't like Dave Canales. I don't like Bryce Young. Both of them got to go. Both of them got. Listen, when we get rid of both of them, we'll go to the Super Bowl. Mark my words. Xavier will have a Pro Bowl season. Once you get rid of Dave Canales and Bryce Young, Xavier Leggett will have a Pro Bowl season. 1,000+ yards, 80 catches, easily. Xavier Leggett, I'm rooting for you, homie. I am rooting for you, and I understand your frustrations, Xavier Leggett. I understand your frustrations. They're not even looking at your stats, and they're still blaming you. If, and see, y'all got to get off Xavier Leggett. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got to leave Xavier Leggett alone. Leave him alone. If you want to pick on somebody, you want to get on somebody, you get on Dave Canales with his non-coaching ass. Can't fucking coach, can't call plays, can't scheme plays, can't scheme big plays, can't get a lack of nothing out of Bryce Young. Bryce Young didn't even have 60 yards, and refuse. Y'all refuse to go to Dave Canales. This is, man. This fucking fan base and media pisses me the fuck off. Y'all, y'all have nothing. This 2025 season been nothing but a built-in excuse for the Carolina Panthers fans, certain podcasts, and media. Here's the new excuse. Here's the new excuse for Bryce Young and Dave Canales. The Seattle defense was just too good. That's the reason why the Carolina Panthers looked the way they looked. The defense was just too good. All these motherfuckers do is make excuses. I never heard of the defense was the reason why Bryce Young had 54 yards. I never heard of that. I never heard of the defense was the reason why your quarterback didn't even have 100 yards. I thought that the quarterback receives the plays from the head coach. I thought the head coach was hired to get the most out of the quarterback. The game against the Seattle Seahawks was a fireable offense on Dave Canales. Dave Canales should have been fired. He should have been fired. Bryce Young should have been benched. Andy Dalton going in. Devereaux, you're the head coach. I don't know what the fuck y'all see in Dave Canales. Y'all motherfuckers some fanboys. Y'all some lovers. Y'all motherfuckers must want to eat Skittles with this motherfucking French press coffee. I don't know what it is for y'all to feel like this motherfucker's bulletproof. Dave Canales is bulletproof. Through all the horrible coaching and every fucking thing. Because see, I'm going to tell you one thing. The Bryce Young lovers, the Bryce Young fans, they don't like Dave. They want Dave Canales gone. They want Dave gone. They feel like Dave Canales is the reason why Bryce Young has been held back. It's Dave Canales. And you don't think that Bryce Young is not going to go in David Tepper's office and say, he's holding me back. You're going to have to do something. And see, listen. Sean gotta beat Dave Canales to the office first. Because Dave gonna say the same thing that Bryce said. Bryce is gonna say it's Dave. Dave is gonna say it's Bryce. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, David Tepper can't tell them to shut the fuck up and go coexist. That's not gonna work. Cause you know why? It's going to equivalent to another losing season. Straight up. It's gonna equivalent. So like I said, I can't wait. All I know is S.L.R in the community, we gonna get what we want. We gonna get what we deserve. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. And I can't wait. Let's get into the content.
Great power comes great responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility.
Hey, what's going on, folks? It's been brought to my attention what I said on the radio. Probably should have used some different words. But based on the DMs I've been getting from people, what I said, and then now you saying you're going to threaten me and you're going to pull up on me. I don't think that's a good idea. So, I love this city. I invest in this city. My foundation in this city. But all these comments in my DMs, sliding my DMs, talking about you're going to pull up on me, you're going to threaten me. We don't need all that, man. We don't need no black on black violence. So if that's how you really feel, just block me, bro. You don't have to. But all these comments threatening my life, ain't no need for that. Okay?
Carolina Panthers. You better be playing that. That better be your motivation before the big time game at Tampa Bay. You better be listening. You heard, Stevie?
Can you let us know what happened on that face mask penalty?
I just got my hands too high. Like as soon as I hit his face mask, I tried to let go, but he kind of sold it a little bit.
I was gonna say it looks like he sold it.
Like I hit his face mask. I felt like I ain't clinched. I ain't see the replay, but I seen him sell it. And they called this a bad play on me. I gotta have my hands lower and just get him out of bounds, especially on the down the distance.
When it happened, did you know like instantly that it was gonna be?
Yeah, when I seen the flag, I knew it was gonna be a face mask.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. You can go check out all my lives. See, that's the thing about me. I stand 10 toes down. I don't waver. I stay the course. And I stay on beat. Just because J.C. Horn had a Pro Bowl season, really because he had 5 picks. If you look at all the games J.C. Horn has been had, any wide receiver that had over 100 yards against the Carolina Panthers, most has been on J.C. Horn. Yeah, J.C. Horn has been had plenty of times. J.C. Horn, listen. Yeah, I always said that J.C. Horn can be the best cornerback if if he completes the three levels. He can't complete the 3 levels because somehow, some way, you had not got over the mental hurdle. You're competing against the refs. Once the refs get in your head, the wide receivers got you. I don't like the combination of him or Mike Jack. Period. J.C. Horn, cool. He all right, but he's not the best. I told y'all, J.C. Horn is good for 2 penalties a game. It's like when you throw the flag out. The first thing comes to my head is JC. When the flag get thrown, first thing comes to my head is JC. Especially when Carolina plays on defense. JC. Yep. All the time, bro. Like, it don't make no difference. Oh, it was just acting, faking. So motherfucking what, bro? Every team knows you can be got. They know that you and Mike Jack is good for at least 1 or 2 penalties. For sure. Get you out your game, frustrate you, and you're done. They're going to pick you apart like they always do, JC.
The last 24, 36 hours.
So we just kind of woke up with a little sickness, feeling under the weather. And, I knew I wanted to play, so I just came in as early as possible to just try to, get ahead of it.
Did you feel 100% out there today?
Yeah, I felt fine. I was all right.
What were your symptoms?
I was congested, body fatigue, just tired.
The offense was kind of listless early on. What do you think kind of went into that?
What?
It was kind of, the offense got off to a slow start. What do you think was the product of that?
Shoot, I'm not too sure, but I just feel like it's just a collective effort. We all gotta be better. We all gotta do our part and make plays.
What about the interception? I think Bryce may have underthrown it. What did you see on that play?
Shoot, honestly, that was a look that we got all week. We practiced that look and that play, and sometimes, come game time, it just doesn't work out, and that's on all of us. That's on me and Bryce. Whether it was a bad ball or not, I gotta go back to the ball.
Davis talked all season about championship opportunities. How confident are you in this team to be able to bounce back from this one as you're going into this area?
Nah, for sure. I'm pretty confident. I feel like we've been doing it all year, and it's nothing that we haven't seen already. And I'm just looking forward to the last game of the regular season and see how we come out.
T-Mac, Dave said they played more man than they had shown most of the year. How do you think that impacted you guys and the downfield passing game?
Shoot, I think it just caught us by surprise. And then obviously, it puts more pressure on the quarterbacks because, they get back there faster. So, but then at the same time, it's up to the receivers to get open, to create a clear picture for Bryce. And, I feel like we didn't do that good of a job.
The media, the Carolina media or the Carolina Panthers media, who the fucking select or North Carolina, too lackadaisical. They didn't ask stupid questions. Well, what do you have? Why was you sick? What was wrong? Like stupid dumb shit, man. Like, I see why David Tepper went off on the media, man. Like, just stupid dumb shit. It's like you wake up and when you know it's interview day, there's at least 2 dumb ones that you gotta get off. The man said he was sick. Y'all motherfuckers want a fucking full diagnosis. Hey, y'all want a fucking doctor's note? Oh, fuck. Damn. Tell you, man. That media, bro. Some of the weakest in the league. Weak. Scared to ask you questions, but ask you dumb questions. That's the Carolina fan. That's the Carolina media. Stupid shit.
It hit me walking out of the stadium yesterday, running into a lot of the Panther fans. The joy, the enthusiasm, and Dave, it was a reminder of what football and a team and a city can mean for a community. Did you get a sense of that at the end of the game yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. It really started, when I walked out there for the kickoff and came back out of the locker room. Everyone was in their seats, and I looked around, and I was like, man, there's a lot of black here. We had the black towels going. We're in all black in the uniform, and it just felt like a whole thing together. It was the team. It was the fan base. Bank of America Stadium. It was electric, and I was like, man, it'd be great to get a win today. For everyone who showed up and showed out and made an impact on the game. Really did. With some false starts, delay of games, really made the communication for the Bucs challenging.
Got him. I don't know what David will go do, man. All I know, Dave Canales, you're on the hot seat. Believe it or not, I don't care what they tell you. You're on the hot seat. You got your fans. Bryce Young got his. And I'm telling you right now, the Bryce Young fans are blaming you, Dave. They're blaming you. They say you're not the right head coach for Bryce Young. I'm not a Bryce Young fan. But I was already saying this before they were saying this. I was saying this before the season started. They saying it because they feel like you're sabotaging Bryce. So take it with a grain of salt, be what you believe. But listen, Dave. Have a bad offensive output, you're gonna be fired. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get into the playoffs. You're gonna get fired. And it's all gonna go back to that Seattle game. And it may go to the Arizona game. Because if you don't win the Arizona game, you'll be in the playoffs. So they can go to the Arizona game or they can go to that Seattle game. Either one. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. That Canales could be 2 and out. It might not be no third season, homie. It might not be no third season. Cause listen, you gotta look at this. If you do get a third season, they may make you get an offensive coordinator. Just because if it does not go right, according to the plan, they're gonna fire you during the middle of the season next year. So they got to have their offensive head coach prepared and ready when that day comes. Yeah, facts. I mean, I'm just saying. That's right. War nutrition. I don't know what to tell y'all. But Bryce and Dave, one on one, or either one can't be around. They can't stick around for the success. Hell, both of them may be gone. As far as I'm concerned, get both of them up out of here. Yep. It ain't gonna be adios. Sayonara. Trying to tell you. You gotta go ahead and call him Ghost. Gotta go. I gotta go. Let me see. Hold on. See what I can get. Cause this motherfucker hot. Let me see. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Trying to find it. Hold on. Let's go to this one then. Let's see what they got to say on this one. Then I'm going to try to find it. Let's go to this. Let's go to this. You know what I like to do, so I like to surf the Carolina Panther streets. You understand what I'm saying? You know, because I noticed one thing. They don't put enough content of what the other people, the other part of the media is saying about the Carolina Panthers. You just don't want to just hear from the content creators. You want to hear from everybody. What's going on? You understand what I'm saying? That's what we do. We get the opinions from everybody. Not only from me, because I already stated my opinion. But let's go to the Carolina Panthers streets and let's hear what they're saying about the Carolina Panthers and the upcoming big time winner takes all game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And no disrespect to the Panthers, they're growing. They're better than they were last year, and last year they were better than the year before, which is what you're asking for in a rebuild. But I don't think anybody puts them as one of the 7 best teams in the conference. I don't think anybody puts them as one of the top 14 teams in the league, that's how many teams are in the postseason, right? But the way it's structured, and by the way, I like the way it's structured, divisions get to put their winner into the playoffs. And if you're in a bad division, you could get lucky and maybe even make it with a below 500 record, which is still on the table for the Panthers. If they lose to the Bucks on Saturday and the Falcons beat the Saints on Sunday, the Panthers go into the postseason with just the semi-truck beeping. Beep, beep, beep. They back their way right on it. But I'm going to say something crazy. It's not their fault, right? Once you get in, now it's the dance. Now anything can happen. Now focus on what you can do to shock the world if you get in that way, or if you beat the Bucks. Which, by the way, the Bucks have not looked good in months, and are still reeling and trying to deal with who's available and all these other things. Baker hasn't been the same guy. So if you beat the Bucks, you're in. Maybe not backing in as aggressively, but you're like parallel parking in. I still wouldn't say you're going in with a full head of steam. So I'm looking at it like this. Beat the Bucks. Get a playoff draw. What's the key to shocking the world? And I will tell you almost with full certainty. The Panthers cannot expect to win any games of meaning without explosive plays on offense. I've got a heck of a stat for you from ESPN Research right here. The Panthers' longest play of the day against the Seattle Seahawks, this game they just lost on Sunday, was 11 yards. 11 yards, the longest play of the day, which is only the fourth time this century the Panthers have had 50 or more plays and a long of 11 yards or shorter. But you want to know the craziest part? 3 of those 4 games this season. 4 times this century, they've had at least 50 offensive plays and had their longest play be 11 yards or shorter. Just 4 times this century, 3 of them this year. Week 6 against the Jets. Oh, wait. Sorry, let me pull all this back. 3 of them were this year. This is a little embarrassing. I misread the stat when ESPN Research sent it out. 3 of them are this year, but they're not all the Panthers. It's week 6, the Jets versus the Broncos. Week 15, the Raiders versus the Eagles.
God, I remember that Jets-Broncos game. That was awful. That one was in Europe. It was a morning.
That's exactly what it was.
It really just hits you in the face. You're like, ooh.
You wake up, got a coffee in your hand, and you're just like, goodness, I need more. So either way, the Panthers this past week had one of the least explosive games this century. And here's the part that's frustrating about it. This isn't a new thing that's wrong with the Panthers. I went back and I started looking up some of my notes from the pre-draft process for the Panthers. And the thing that we promoted on this show in the middle rounds was explosive. I wanted Brashard Smith, the running back who went to the Chiefs late in the draft. I wanted Bashal Tutin, the fastest 40-yard dash time of all running backs out of Virginia Tech, who went to the Jags in the middle part of the draft. I was pleased that they drafted Jimmy Horn, somebody with a little juice. What felt missing last year and the year before were the big plays, right? Chuba Hubbard, even when he was having his really, really good years, his longest run was like 35 yards. Right? He was a guy that would get you 7, 5, 7, 4, 6, 3, 12, maybe 17 if there was a blown coverage, blown gap assignment somewhere on the defense. He was not somebody that would give you 60. Same was true about Adam Thielen. Same was true about Tommy Tremble. Same was true about so many of the guys that they were depending on. So now you're in a game on Sunday where if you win, you don't know it at the time, but if you win, you're in the postseason, and you can't come up with a play more than 11 yards? 11.
Now more than ever, the world is in crisis.
Yeah, before we get back to the content. 54 yards, 56 yards, whatever it was. There's not no other team in the NFL. I promise you, there's not another team in the NFL will let a quarterback play that poorly and not bench them during the game. For sure. For sure. So, that right there shows you and tells you about Dave Canales right there. You ain't it, bro. It's getting almost embarrassing where Dave, you may play yourself out of even getting another head coaching shot. Promise you, David Tepper probably had the utmost patience for you, because that would have been any other owner. Your ass would have been fired for that right there. That pathetic performance to see their quarterback that they gave multiple picks and players for, to get him in the first, to get him at the number one pick in 2023, to have only 54 or 56 yards passing during the whole game. Unbelievable. Embarrassing. Unbelievable. You got to go, Dave. You got to go, Canales. Pathetic.
Plays are the equalizer. Big plays are the equalizer. And what I mean by that is you can be overmatched and win football games. If it's the I'm trying to think of what movie it is, where they're explaining blackjack, right? And it's oh man, that's gonna annoy the heck out of me. And the whole thing is like, the only way you can beat the house is when on those one play, those few hands where you have the statistical advantage, if you go absolutely all in and capitalize on it totally.
I know what scene you're talking about too, but I can't remember what movie it is either. Well, I'll find it.
Okay, thank you. And that's kind of what it is, right? Like, the Panthers are not going to be better than a playoff team in 70 of 70 offensive plays. They're not going to be better than a playoff team on 65 of 70.
It was Ocean's 11.
All right, perfect. Ocean's 11. With the Topher Grace and all the celebrities anyway. Thank you. It's Charlie Conway, the guy that played Charlie Conway in Mighty Ducks, was sitting at that. Anyway, the Panthers are not going to be the better team on the field the majority of the time when their offense is out there. But they might be the better team a few, right? And if on those few plays, it's a 65-yard gain or a 40-yard gain or a game-changing play, that can negate the other 65 plays. That could be enough. That could be 21 points. You need to come up with those plays. It's why when you watch, right, there's in the NFL, every team is pretty good, okay? They're all paid, they're all pros, they're all the best team on their colleges, they're all good, right? So the gap is different. But it's why when you see like the FCS schools playing the power conference schools, in the first quarter, you always have a couple trick plays called. You always have a fake punt called. You always have something crazy called, because they're trying to equalize it. They're trying to make up a 50% talent gap with one big 70-yard completion on 4th and 17 by your punter who's 19 years old and has never thrown a pass because he grew up playing soccer. Like, that's what you're trying to do. And I'm not saying the Panthers go that far, right? I'm not saying you turn around to your rookie place kicker and go, hey, guess what? We're going to run the speed option. You're the back. But what I am saying is you have to do some things that you don't have on tape, right? You have to do some things that even if the defensive quality control coach of the other team just absolutely pounds coffee and every bit of caffeine they have and stays up 24 hours a day and watches every play call of your career, they've never seen this. And then this has to be something downfield or something with a tremendous amount of misdirection or something that gets the ball in the hands of one of your speedsters or something that can change the game in your favor. And yes, that usually means looking towards your best players. Yeah, like, last night was a perfect example. When the game was on the line, who were the Rams looking at? It was either Davis, the little fast guy who looked fantastic, or Puka Nacua, their best guy. When the Falcons needed a play, where were they looking? Bijan Robinson, who's probably actually their fast guy and their best guy. You look to your players. So if I'm the Panthers, I am truly being as creative as possible on ways to get Tetairoa McMillan one-on-one as far down the field as possible. I'm truly looking for ways to get Jimmy Horn Jr. in a foot race against anybody who's not the opposing team's fastest corner. If you can get him on a safety, if you can get him on a depth corner, a nickel corner, whoever it is, I'm trying to do that. Those are the plays that can go, you know what? Actually, here's the way to describe it. And people online are absolutely obsessed with it. You know the little win percentage thing if you go on ESPN to the box score?
Yeah, like the little graph.
The little line graph that just bobs up and down. And there's always, I think it happened with the Jared Verse kick block and run last night. It's like, that play turned the win percentage more than any play since week 14, right? It's a long touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Like, you need those plays if you're the Panthers. You had a 38% chance to win by win probability until Tedero McMillan caught that 45-yard touchdown pass, and it swung up to now you're a 55% chance to win. One of the largest swings of the game. Like, that's what you need. Dave Canales was speaking to the media about trying to get Tedero McMillan more involved in the offense.
Yeah, just try to get him more access. We moved him around in formation some. They matched it pretty well. They sent a safety over there a couple of times, and then I thought they challenged him up front with their corners, and he had mixed levels of success. Sometimes, he'd create a surface. The ball might be going somewhere else, but just making sure we're doing the right things, the routes that he loves, that he can execute, and also that fit into the scheme of what we're doing.
I agree with all of that in theory. Also, in theory, I don't want it to fit in with what you're doing. I want it to look completely different than anything you've done. Have you watched any of the Luke Kuechly alternate broadcast stuff?
I saw a clip from the game last night where he basically called out the screen pass that was coming for Puka Nacua.
Unbelievable. If you haven't watched it, it's even fun, and this is how nerdy I am. I'll watch the game with the regular broadcast and then go and watch the game again with Luke Kuechly breaking it down, because we already knew it, right? If you're a Panther fan, or if you are somebody that's been an NFL fan for a good amount of time, he might be the smartest defensive player in the history of the game. And he can verbalize it extremely quickly, and he can dissect plays like nothing I've ever seen. I would use him. I would tell Dave Canales to bring Luke Kuechly in and say, if we lined up like this, what do you think our tendency would be? And I would wait. I would keep flipping through things on the projector. What about this? What about this? Until Luke Kuechly says, I don't know. Boom, that's what we're going with. I need something that the smartest defensive player would not know what to expect from us in that play. I'm not going to say I'm going to make that our new base package, but you need something to surprise them, because if your longest play is 11 yards doing what you do, you need to do something different. Go Wildcat. Go double reverse pass. I mean, do something. If it's the end of the third quarter and you've not had a play that's longer than 11 yards, I mean, ask Bryce to throw offhanded. Like, do something different, because 11 yards is not going to get it done.
Hey, Chris. What's happening? That was bad. Like, bad. I feel like we've seen this before. Looks very familiar, you know? Too familiar. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get this sucker started.
Get dialed in, Panthers fans. Here comes an in-depth look at your team. Exclusive interviews, locker room insight. Let's huddle up for Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics, a Wake Med physician practice. Here are your hosts, Dennis Cox and Chris Lee.
Welcome back to another episode of Panthers Playbook, and that's Chris Lee. Dennis Cox here with you, sponsored by our good friends over at Wake Orthopedics, Panthers Playbook. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. like the video, hype the video, but also comment down below. Just vent. Just go ahead and vent down below because that was a very frustrating 27-10 loss.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It just this team is so frustrating, Chris.
Yeah.
Just the back and forth. Not at any point this season. Actually, there's only one time this season. Well, the Panthers have scored 20-plus points in back-to-back games all year, weeks 5 and 6. That'll be the only time this entire season that happened. Once did they score consecutive games, 20-plus points, weeks 5 and 6. That's it. 54 yards passing ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna cut it for you.
There's so much that's frustrating coming out of this. Just mainly because, like, you want to make it. So first off, Grandview. Panthers are 8-8.
They are.
That's amazing. We're happy that they're here. There's expectations, and that's the reason why we feel the way we feel.
Yes.
Okay. Now
that's the buck spot.
Now that we have talked about that,
yes.
Now let's get back to what this is actually all about.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of team that you would probably see if you were to host a playoff game. If you're able to make it right here at Bank of America Stadium. This is showing the Carolina Panthers where they are at.
Mm-hmm.
And missed opportunities are really what kind of gets you there. First off, this was the game, we were talking about this beforehand, just personally. We knew Sam Darnold could possibly turn it over. He turns it over twice. You got to take advantage of the turnovers. Offense doesn't do that. As a matter of fact, after one of the turnovers, which was the Mike Jack interception, they literally give it right back.
Next play.
On the next play, Chuba Hubbard, usually faithful or reliable, ends up fumbling, and then the Seahawks get it back.
First fumble all year for Chuba.
And then you talk about the missed opportunities as far as like what is the offensive flow? You guys go to our Instagrams at Chris Lee TV at the Fan Rookie. We publish our notes that we're writing throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the notes I wrote, I believe it was in the first half, was something to the effect of what's going on with Canales. I don't feel like there's any type of a flow to his play calling or what the actual game plan is for the Panthers offensively heading into this. I mean, that's also a big time credit to the Seahawks for being able to stifle the Panthers. But also, like, offensive side of the ball, that's where Canales is supposed to be to specialize. He's supposed to specialize at, and you pointed it out. Only twice this season will they go back-to-back weeks scoring 20 or more points. And it feels like there's a lot that's been left on the table when your number one receiver gets a garbage time catch at the end of the game that's not going to count for anything.
Yeah. And we know he was sick. We understand that he was sick. But it's not like he got targeted a bunch anyway.
Is that it? Dave Canales didn't use it as an excuse.
No, he didn't.
We're not going to use that as an excuse.
T-Mac didn't use it. We talked to him in the locker room. T-Mac didn't use it as an excuse.
Like, you wonder about the missed opportunities on the offensive side. We could probably stay here for a little bit because there's definitely some missed opportunities on the other side of the ball as well.
Speaking of the offense, 1 of 11 on third downs. 1 of 11 on third down.
That's horrible.
That's atrocious.
That's horrible.
They did go 2 of 3 on fourth down, but it's not nowhere near good enough of a conversion rate. Also, here's the thing as well, is that when they finally did score their touchdown, when Bryce Young scrambled to his left and ran it in, which was a great decision by him. Didn't have anything in terms of anyone open. Saw the lane, ran it. It was a good decision by him. But, I mean, at that point, when they scored early in the fourth quarter, that was their 10th first down. Half of them came on that touchdown drive. It's just not good enough. It's simply not good enough. But also, you mentioned the play calling. I think, remember correctly, you and I were talking during the game. I think it was sometime in the third quarter or even early fourth quarter. And I turned to you and I said, has Rico Dowdle had many plays where he's had consecutive runs?
Yeah.
And there was a stretch on a drive where they got a field goal where he had 3 straight carries early in a drive. But then we saw the Mitchell Evans QB sneak, which they added that to the arsenal. Well done. But he got the QB sneak. Okay. You expect them maybe to run the ball, but they threw the ball 3 straight times.
Yeah.
It's just so things like that. It's just, like you said, there's no flow to their offense. There was 0 consistency with their offensive game plan from week to week. And it's, the 10th time now, or 10th game in a row where they've gone win-loss, 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 win-loss.
We still don't know what the Panthers are good at. Like, when you talk about offense,
and you just talk about in generalities, right? You can point to certain teams and say, hey, what are the 49ers good at? They're really good at running the ball, and that's going to set up their big pass plays. And they also utilize their tight ends very well, through the run game and through the pass game, and it keeps you off balance.
Yeah.
You can talk about the Rams and how prolific of a passer that Matt Stafford is, and the great wide receivers that he has. When you look at the Carolina Panthers, what exactly is the identity of this team on offense? And I'm not talking about what Canales says it is.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it that we see? Because 99 rushing yards and then 54 passing yards for a total of 139 yards. I think Seattle had, if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, I think Seattle had 139 by the time we hit the half.
Maybe. I'll have to go back and look and see.
But 139 total, that's just not going to cut it for the Carolina Panthers. And I think when we're looking towards next season, we don't want to say this season is over yet.
No.
But as you're looking towards getting better for next season, what is going to be your offensive identity? That is the big thing. And it's more than just what you say with your words. It has to also be in practice.
What's it going to be this coming Saturday? Or Sunday, whatever day they play. That's the thing. You got to figure it out by this weekend. What are you actually good at? What are you actually good at? Because I don't know. I genuinely do not know what this team is good at, again, on a consistent level.
Yeah.
You mentioned the missed opportunities on offense. Look at time of possession dominated by the Seattle Seahawks. But that doesn't mean there weren't opportunities for the defense early on to get off the field and save themselves. For example, the very first field goal that made it 3-0 by the Seattle Seahawks. Third and super long, but over there, because we're on this side of the field. Right over there, third and super long. DJ Wanham misses a tackle on Zach Charbonnet. He gets upfield for this long first down run. I mean, it felt like the play call was just hey, let's kind of just run the ball here, get a little field position, and we'll punt the ball, play a field position game. Then it turns into a long run because of, again, a missed tackle by DJ Wanham. I'm not trying to pile on here, but it's just what it was. And then sure enough, that drive extends. They get a field goal out of it.
And then on the other side,
Claude Cherilus, after Chuba Hubbard's fumble.
Yeah.
By the way,
could have gotten off the field on the third down again.
Could have forced the field goal. Instead, miss an open field tackle.
Yep.
Drive continues. Now you got a touchdown.
Yep.
So again, opportunities for the defense that were missed, but also at the same time, the offense was asking too much of the defense because of how putrid they were. So I think eventually that kind of wore things down. But nonetheless, missed opportunities on both sides of the ball. You had 2 turnovers on defense. By your defense, you got 3 points out of it. What does that sound like? Oh, the 49ers game from a month ago.
And then you have to talk about J.C. Horn just going too high on Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, that was a face mask. That's a call.
And that's on third down. You're literally getting, we would talk to Jonathan Stewart after the game.
We did.
And it was just he just said, hey, just push him out of bounds.
Yeah.
Just literally push him out of bounds right there. You don't even have to go up high. And then they are punting the ball at that point.
Yep.
And then you see what the offense can possibly muster up. Instead, they stay on the field and it equals points for them down the line. That's just one of those things. What are we thinking at these points? But then I also pointed 2 things out to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna look at the final rushing. Or this goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. We're gonna look at the final rushing and say wow, Panthers got, I think at this point was 163 to 99.
Yeah.
54 of those yards with Zach 2 Zach Charbonnet runs.
Yeah.
And then you tack on some of the runs at the end, during garbage time when the Carolina Panthers can't convert on the fourth down. And there's basically 4 and out here towards the end of the game. So
the thrill of the competition, the beautiful beaches, even the palm trees in the palm of your hand. Play the WSOP Paradise Tournament. Win a heavenly jackpot. Get more rings. Higher rank. Bigger prize. See you in paradise.
if you tackle, one, you get off the field.
Yeah.
Two, the rushing yards, as of the way it would have ended like that, if the Carolina Panthers don't get anything extra, ends up being around the same. And those are the small, like, you talk about it being a game of inches.
Mm-hmm.
It was a game of inches, which led to 14 points.
Oh.
I mean, really 17 if you talk about the first field goal right there. Like, literally, those small miscues
Let's not
led
forget,
to points.
Right here in the very first drive of the game for Seattle, they had the ball right over here to where we're standing. J.C. Horn has the ball get tipped by G.J. Wanham.
Yeah.
And right into the hands of J.C. Horn, he drops it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're literally inside the 15-yard line at that point.
He was thinking about running.
Whatever it was, he didn't come up with it. Again, missed opportunity. Lord knows what could happen after that. You could have had all the momentum right from the beginning of the game. You got the full Sam Darnold experience the first 3 plays of the game. You did. The first 3 plays of the game, because you had that tip pass that should have been intercepted, and then he threw the second pass into trouble, which went for an incomplete pass, and he throws a beautiful out route for a first down. It's like, that's the full Sam Darnold experience 3 plays into the game. But again, that's a missed opportunity for the defense as well.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, this is the theme in these losses. They do themselves no favors.
No.
They do themselves no favors. Everything seems like a grind. Even in wins, oftentimes, it's a grind for this team. And that's the thing that's frustrating about this Carolina Panthers team this season. It's the lack of consistency. We've seen them take advantage of opportunities at times. But then you get like today, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just it's the 49ers game all over again. Get 3 points off 2 turnovers. They get 14 off of 2 turnovers by the Panthers. What's the difference? Boom, there it is. There it is. But hey, guess what, Chris?
I was just going to say, just so they don't accuse us of being too negative.
Yeah.
They're still in it.
They still have a chance.
A win
They still have a chance.
gets them into the playoffs. A win puts them at over 500 for the first time to end the season since 2017.
Yeah.
Which is also the last time they were in the playoffs as well.
Yep.
So the opportunity is still right there in front of them. It's literally right here. It's right here.
Right there.
And so, but this time you have to do it on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You did it here on this field last week. Now you have to go on the road and do that. And this back and forth thing goes into their favor for next week. But you have to take the show on the road to Tampa Bay. This is what, 5 straight games that Tampa Bay has lost?
4 straight.
Four straight games that they've lost.
4 straight.
So like they're reeling right now.
They are. Big time.
They are reeling, and so you have a great opportunity now to go and take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this wasn't a typical Panthers locker room after a game after a loss, because they know that fact.
Yeah,
their destiny is literally in their hands. It's in their hands in this game, but they still have it to where it's in their hands next week as well.
Speaking of the guys in the locker room, one of the captains, the captain on the defense. Let's go hear from Derek Brown.
I think my role is just kind of, take what coach is saying and, preach it as well. I mean, if you don't understand what we got on the line, I don't know what else to tell you. This is that we live for playing in the league. So to be able to have this opportunity, especially for me, in a situation where I've never really had this opportunity, I'm going to lay it all on the line.
Chris, like you said, in the locker room, the guys, they understood what's at stake. Hey, you know what? They missed an opportunity today, but they still have their chance next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you mentioned earlier, they got to find their identity on offense. They have to discover something because, Chris, you mentioned this to me before we actually got into the locker room for the Carolina Panthers. It's 10 straight games where they've alternated wins and losses. 10 straight games of alternating wins and losses. It's not a recipe for long-term success. It's just not.
It's not. And history tells us that it wasn't. If you were watching the game on the broadcast, it's something I happened to see walking downstairs, and they put up a graphic with this. Alternating wins and losses, most consecutive games in NFL history. You had the 94 Colts, 12. Miami Dolphins of 2010, 11. Denver of 2001, 11. The Jets of 2013, 10. Detroit of 2025, 10. Carolina Panthers of 2025, 10. All of those teams besides the Carolina Panthers, what do they have in common?
Miss the playoffs.
They all missed the playoffs. Detroit's not making the playoffs because they had the alternating thing going on.
They did.
Carolina Panthers still can make the playoffs, but literally, it's not in their favor. Nothing is in their favor because history tells us that when you've alternated wins and losses for 10 weeks or more, you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Other teams have done it. That's like 5 other teams that didn't make it,
And so now the Carolina Panthers would be the 6th. Let's not make that happen. You got to go into next week with the plan. You have to make sure you execute. You're going against a team who's reeling. I would say, honestly, the pressure is more so on Tampa Bay. Like, for everything that went wrong for the Carolina Panthers today, you're not expected to make it to the playoffs at all at the beginning of the season. Everybody wrote you off as another possible 5 or 4 win team this year, right?
We said 7 to 9 wins.
We said 7 to 9. And we're going to fall in that range.
We're right in that range.
Falling right here.
Right there.
Right here.
Right
in that
there.
range. You came up with some big-time wins. Won some games that you weren't expected to win. You won some of the games that you were supposed to win. Not all of them. You should have. And if you would have won at least one of those, we're not talking about playoff scenario for next week.
We can have it at a later time.
But right now, you have the grand opportunity in front of you for Tampa Bay. Yeah, I couldn't remember their names at first. Whatever. They start off the season 6-2.
Yeah,
and they just started nosediving after that. So now they have the pressure of, like, we're at home. We haven't beaten this team. We lost versus them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we have to win, and we're in, but we're also injured. But then, like, we don't know how to win because since week 8, we've, like, literally been reeling.
Yeah.
The pressure is all on Tampa Bay, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I think that's a grand opportunity for the Carolina Panthers because when you are Green Bay,
Introducing the Score Bet for Sunday, Monday, or any day that ends in Y. We're with you every game day with all the promos and player props you need. New players get $100 in bonus bets if you win your first $10 bet. The Score Bet. Download
now. Pressure's on you. Panthers come in and win it.
Yeah.
When you're in LA, you come in here. Pressure's on you. The Panthers win it. Make it 3.
Make
it 3.
Pressure is on them to win at the
When the Panthers have pressure, what do? They've lost. Saints twice.
Lost.
What do?
Lost.
Pressure's on the other team. What do?
They win.
All right.
We're wrapping up there, folks. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments section. You feel good about this coming weekend, Saturday or Sunday? Not entirely sure. We're just going to wait and see. But you feel good about it. Let us know in the comments because
can we point something out really quick before we wrap up? We barely spoke about the franchise quarterback. Just to show you guys, we're not haters. We'll let you be the judge for yourself. 54 yards? 54?
And a bad interception, by the way.
54?
Bad interception. Call what it is.
The Shaq Thompson out here?
Yo, shout out Shaq Thompson.
Shout out Shaq Thompson.
He's doing things up there in Buffalo.
We missed that guy.
That we do. Again, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We'll have another episode for you guys on Wednesday. Because, again, Thursday's New Year's Day. Enjoy the holiday. We'll have an episode for you all Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., as always. So make sure you stay locked in. Subscribe if you haven't. By the way, we get a lot of views on these videos. Not everyone's subscribed. Do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We love each and every one of you all. And also, this is obviously, well, depending if they make the playoffs, Chris, but last regular season game here at Bank of America Stadium, you and I have gone around Bank of America Stadium. We have seen a lot of the listeners, the people that watch and listen to us, and just run into us and say, hey, shout out to you guys. For example, shout out, I saw walking in, Reggie. Shout out to Reggie who was walking in. Shout out to him, by the way, the Jordan 5 Black Metallic 5s that you're rocking. Beautiful, sir. But nonetheless, shout out to everyone that you interacted with us that come up and just says hey to us. We love each and every one of you all. Thank you for making this special for us.
I mean, honestly, here at Bank of America Stadium, in Greensboro, in Raleigh, in Durham, different places where we've been, for different types of games or whatever, you guys are walking up to us and saying that you love what you're hearing with this content. Thank you so much for watching, for coming up to us. We are approachable. I might have RBF, but trust me, I'm an approachable guy. You can talk to me.
RBF?
Resting B-face.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know what it was.
I did.
But thank you guys. We appreciate you guys for watching.
And again, leave your comments. We'll see you all on Wednesday.
This is Tyler Rowland from the Locked On Titans podcast. This message is a paid partnership with Apple Card. I love how simple it is to pay using Apple Card with Apple Pay. It's built right into my iPhone, so it's always ready to go. I was on vacation recently. I didn't even have to bring my wallet to the beach. Plus, I earn up to 3% daily cash back on every purchase when I use my Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on your iPhone. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Well, what do you know? The back door is still ajar for the Panthers.
You are Locked On Panthers, your daily Carolina Panthers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into another edition of the Locked On Panthers podcast, the part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, as always, Julian Council, talking Carolina Panthers with you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and yes, of course, Friday, your team every day. That's our motto here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for watching the show right here on YouTube and listening wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Today's episode of Locked On Panthers is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. For one final time here in 2025, we're going to have an episode of Locked On Panthers, and in that final episode, I'm going to answer your weekly Wednesday mailbag questions, possibly the last weekly Wednesday mailbag of the season. Now, I have never done this show with the Panthers in the playoffs, so I'm not certain what I'm going to do next week as far as the good, the bad, and the ugly, Keys Victor review, the mailbag, all of that we typically do throughout the regular season. It's all going to be brand new for me if the Panthers do take care of business on Saturday, or if they backdoor their way in on Sunday, thanks to help from their friends down there in Atlanta, if the Falcons go on and beat the Saints. So I'm not sure whether this is the last mailbag of the season, but certainly once we're in the thick of the offseason, maybe in a week or two, the weekly Friday mailbag will be back. So at me, DM me over on Twitter or Blue Sky at Julian Council at any time to get your questions in for either the Wednesday mailbag next week or starting possibly next week, the Friday mailbag, which we do throughout the offseason outside of the summer months here on the show. But man, oh man, it happened. A scenario that I wasn't willing to buy into has happened yet again. Recall that I was talking to James Yarko of Locked On Bucks, who we'll talk to tomorrow for the Crossover Thursday episode presented by Price Picks. He was telling me, oh yeah, this Bucks team can absolutely lose to the Quinn Ewers-led Dolphins. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? What do you mean that this Bucks team, that while, yes, they haven't looked good, you really think they can lose to Miami? Well, what do you know? They lost to Miami. And he also brought up to me that day a scenario where there could be a three-way tie atop the NFC South between Carolina, Tampa, and Atlanta, all sitting at 8-9, and Carolina would then go to the playoffs. I didn't want to believe that was going to happen. I wanted to believe that either the Panthers were going to take care of their business on their own or that Tampa was going to take care of their business on their own. But instead, after what happened on Monday night, recall, on Monday, or at least the Tuesday episode yesterday, I was telling you I was recording it on Monday afternoon. I had no idea what was going to happen in that game. I was believing and assuming that the Rams would get it together and they would beat the Falcons. Instead, Matthew Stafford, MVP, poof, that's gone. And the Rams, Super Bowl contenders, poof, that's also gone. And what do you know? The back door is ajar for the Panthers if they go out there and they lay yet another egg on Saturday afternoon in Tampa. I can't believe it that this is happening. It's a great thing, obviously, for Carolina. And for me, I'm slightly annoyed. And it's not that I don't want the Panthers to make the playoffs. Yes, I want that to happen. It's more so I don't want to work on Sunday. So if the Panthers lose, then I'm going to have to sit here and watch two bad teams. I have no interest in watching that game on Sunday. So please, Panthers, just win on Saturday, man. I don't want to be here doing this show on Sunday afternoon reacting to what happens between Atlanta and New Orleans. And I suppose I would only do a show if the Panthers end up making the playoffs. If they end up not getting in because New Orleans wins, I guess there wouldn't be a show, but I would still have to divert my attention on a free Sunday to the Falcons and the Saints. I know it's selfish, but I don't really want to do that. So just win the game on Saturday. I like the stakes of winner take all more than the stakes of maybe winner takes all, and maybe the game at 1 o'clock the next day is actually the most important game that's played in the NFC South this weekend. It is deeply hilarious. Don't get me wrong. It's still just utterly ridiculous that it's gotten to this point, and that both Carolina and Tampa have allowed it to potentially get to this point. Panthers still have control of their own playoff fate. The Bucks, my goodness, they do not. So we'll see how it plays out this upcoming weekend. First on Saturday, and then, if necessary, on Sunday. And it probably makes the most sense considering the up and down nature of the Panthers this season, the complete free fall the Bucks have been in, that the Falcons and the Saints are the ones who actually get to decide who ends up representing the division in the playoffs as the 4 seed in the NFC. And it is pretty similar to what we saw happen just a few weeks ago in the ACC when a 5-loss Duke team got to go to the ACC title game here in Charlotte. And what do you know, they won. And, well, the ACC still got to the playoff, but it was just complete, utter madness. All right, let's get into the mailbag. Sean, he has a question about the opportunities Panthers have blown and the opportunity that's still there in front of them this weekend, saying, I know that missing out on several opportunities to seal up the division looks pretty bad, especially considering a subpar opponent in the Saints beating the Panthers twice in the thick of the race. I can't help but wonder if maybe it was a good thing to have those experiences, both the good and the bad, to set up this last game in possible playoff berth. We've had several games at the end of the season that have been some pretty high stakes. So do you think that that could be a part in giving the Panthers a better chance to win their last game on Saturday, maybe even win a game in the playoffs? Possibly. And this is the thing. I said after they lost to the Saints that this team is not mature enough, not professional enough to handle success and to win in those situations. And you could probably say the same thing after the game against Seattle. Now, I didn't want to be as harsh because the Seattle Seahawks are a 13-3 team. When the Saints beat the Panthers, they were previously a 1-win and a 3-win football team. You cannot lose those games if you want to win the division. Now, the Panthers may very well have lost those games and still win the division, but you really shouldn't be in a position like that and lose to a team that is inferior than you. Now, the Panthers have risen up and beaten teams that are better than them in the Packers, and yes, and still the Rams, and found a way to win those games. But, man, you got to be able to find a way to handle success, which they have not done so far this season. And, hell, they won't have to do again this season until they get to the playoffs, provided that they either win on Saturday or the Falcons win on Sunday and let them backdoor and get in and host a playoff game for the first time in a decade, which would be great. And I'll take, and certainly I think all of you will also take as well, even if it is gross, because they earned it. Whether you like the way the NFL subs the playoffs or not, if they get an 8-9 because of a 3-way tie, they earned it. I've heard plenty of people who've played on Sundays who have said it's hard to win football games. And if winning 8 football games and 2 of them being the right wins against Atlanta gets you into the playoffs, they earned their way in. I don't want to hear anybody say contrary to that. But looking into the Panthers right now as far as learning from those experiences, because I think they have. This is a very young team. If you think about it, it's been since 2017 the Panthers have had this many games in succession that have had playoff stakes. Go back to the end of that season. They had at New Orleans. They had home against Minnesota where Cam had that long run. They had that game against Green Bay where Aaron Rodgers is throwing down his Microsoft Surface Pro or whatever. I'm not sponsored by Microsoft. I don't know why I said all of that. But he's throwing down his tablet in frustration. You have the win against Tampa that sealed the deal. That was 4 straight games that mattered. Carolina just had a game against New Orleans and against Tampa and then against Seattle and now against Tampa. 4 straight games that have mattered. It's been 8 years since they've had this many important games in a row. And the guys who were here 8 years ago were Taylor Moton, who was a backup offensive lineman, primarily playing special teams, and then J.J. Jansen, who was a long snapper. No one else is around.
So these guys are still trying to learn how to win, learn how to handle these situations. Just look at the guys who are going to be starting on Sunday and being major players in this game. Bryce Young has never played an important game like this in the NFL in his third year as a starter. Rico Dowdle was on the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago in 2023 when they went to the playoffs, but during that run to get there, in 2 games, he had 5 carries combined. And then he was inactive in that Lions game on that Saturday night. That was controversial at the end because the Lions offensive lineman said he declared himself as eligible, and the ref said, actually, no, you didn't. And Detroit loses that game and ends up costing them seeding in that playoffs that went to Dallas because of the tiebreaker. Rico was on that team, but he wasn't like a key cog. So, yeah, he knows what it's like to be in a locker room like that, but he wasn't the guy being asked to tote the rock when it mattered. McMillan, Leggett, Coker, they've never been in this before. Tommy Trimble was around a couple years ago, but he's never really been in this like this for a month of pressure. He's never been in this situation. Icky, he was out there a couple years ago, but not a month of pressure like they're in right now. Damian Lewis, he's been through it in Seattle. Cade Mays never been through it. Austin Corbett has a Super Bowl ring. So obviously he knows what it's like. Taylor Moton was around 2017. He's been around the locker room. He's felt the pressure, but he hasn't been the guy called on late in those games to make sure to protect his quarterback. So you look offensively, a lot of guys are new to this scenario. And shouldn't really surprise you that the offense has been pretty up and down. Now, it's been the case all season long, but they haven't really been in this scenario by and large. You look at the quarterback and the playmakers. The offensive linemen, they have the experience. Robert Hunt, if he plays, has the experience as well. But the playmakers, the quarterbacks, the quarterback, no, they don't hate us. They don't have the experience. Defensively, Derek Brown, never been around for this. Ashawn Robinson had Super Bowl ring. Bobby Brown III had Super Bowl ring. Turk Wharton, Super Bowl ring. So those guys know what it's like. The linebackers, Rose Boone was in the playoffs last year, but okay, a little bit different this time, wearing the green dot, being the guy who's got to make all the calls. Clown Sherless, never been in the situation. Corner, JC, never been in this situation, was out for the game back in 2022. Mike Jackson was in the playoffs Seattle in 2022, was there the next season when they were having their playoff push and just barely missed. Sean Smith-Wade, never been in it. Javon Merrick, his rookie year in Las Vegas, they made a run to the playoffs. Nick Scott, Super Bowl ring. So defensively, there's more guys who have been around and been in these scenarios. But offensively, a lot of youth. So I do think it's beneficial to go from blowing it in New Orleans to bouncing back against Tampa to, I guess, blowing it on Sunday against Seattle to now you're back in another bounce back situation. But you're also in a situation where, man, you've been through it. You know what it feels like to not get it done. And that locker room, at least after the loss against New Orleans, from my understanding, was one that was far more beat up about what they failed to accomplish than the one that I was in on this past Sunday against Seattle. Because they were saying, would you want it any other way? To play your division rival for a chance to go to the playoffs, potentially? I don't think so. So, yeah, I do think that they will benefit from those failures and from this last month, and that potentially could help them going into the playoffs. And Dave Canales himself said they've been playing playoff football for a month now. So we'll see if they can actually play real playoff football, depending upon what happens on Saturday and then potentially what happens on Sunday if they need that to be the case. Now, if the Panthers do make the playoffs, who would they rather have as their 5 seed? I'll answer that question here in just a moment on Locked on Panthers. NFL season is in full swing, and there's nothing like being at the game. The crowd noise, the energy, and cheering alongside other fans. Watching at home is great, but being in the stadium hits different. The frustrating part has always been getting tickets, waiting in queues, dealing with logins, and watching prices change right at checkout. That's why the Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing NFL tickets and experiences in just a few taps. I pulled up the Game Time app, looked at tickets down, not just in Tampa for the Panthers game, but also maybe a more important game on Sunday. And there's a really good ticket deal for both of these games. So if you want to go down to Tampa, and if Carolina loses, you want to make your way up to Atlanta afterwards, great deals over on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL. That's LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today and get back to being there live.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically. Man, it's a good matchup, though. A good matchup. Say, may the best one win. We're going to see. We most definitely will be going live Saturday for the game, so make sure you tap in. We most definitely will be going live. Carolina Panther Nation, Carolina Panthers, the fans, be patient. Better days are coming. Get rid of Shador. Arch nemesis. Kevin Stefanski. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Mm-hmm.
Great power comes great responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility.